here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair, it's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the prophet. Hey, hey, we talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand them.
And we're live with Nick Black in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Dummy's gonna dummy. I actually had there's a guy, well, I can't say who he is, but he's a pretty prominent dude in the Dubai money management space. And he was talking about the effects of artificial intelligence on current markets, just against trading. Had nothing to do with crypto, just trading. And he just said, and he's close to a lot of AI projects that are working with and for big hedge funds. And I said, well, what about everybody else? And he said, dummy's gonna dummy. Oh man, good luck. Good luck all you out there that think you're smarter than, everything in the world. That think you can look at a squiggly line and beat, everything in the world. Good luck. Brandon, what's going on with you, man? How was vacation?
Are you kidding me? Dude, it was great. You should have come with me. I know I stopped off and we got to see you a little bit. My wife got to we got to hang out with Nick. It was good times. Dude.
We got to hang out.
You're an awesome dude.
What was the favorite thing that you ate? If anybody doesn't know, we went to a place called Albright on the pier in Santa Monica. Super yummy. Super yummy.
It was, dude, they had this clam chowder in a sourdough bowl.
So good.
So good. It was actually so good. And they had this, I had a burger. I go to a seafood place and I have a hamburger. It's like blasphemy, I'm sure. But regardless,
you did try some of the fried fish with the malt vinegar.
Fair. So I did try that. And it was fish. I want to say it was really, I'm sure it was really good if you like fish, but like, it was palpable. I could eat it, so it was good.
We had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
I don't even think we didn't even talk about crypto, did we?
Yeah, no, man. We talked a lot about everything else, pretty much. We might have talked about crypto for like 30 seconds, give or take.
We just checked the markets. Are they up?
Yep. It's there. They're good. Crypto's good. I talk about crypto with everybody else because I feel like it's an education session with everybody else. When we got together, we just hung out. We talked about, life, which was good, man. We talked about your background a little bit. Dude, you're a smart dude, man. My wife was very impressed by you, by the way.
She's super cool. Well, yeah. I think the crypto stuff, as we were talking, we did talk a little bit about finance and about economics. And I think that too many times people say there's finance, there's economics, and then there's crypto. No. There's just finance and economics. There's economics, which are the rules. That's your rule set. And finance is how, you might take those and, make some money out of them. And I think if you put crypto assets, digital assets, distributed systems in some different box, you're doing a grave disservice to yourself. And I give the squiggly line traders a lot of grief. I don't blame you for what you're doing, but it's a failed bit. It will be more and more a failed bit, and you're just fighting against forces that you can't possibly beat. You cannot do it. And I just don't know why people are so stubborn. Like, isn't everybody, how many people bring us today?
Wow. How many people? We got 2639 right here.
Okay, so of the 2639, let's assume half of them are on their phones and they may not be able to answer, and the quarter of them don't even care to hear what we have to say. They're just waiting for the next show. So there's at least a good 300 people there. Of the 300 people that are active, how many of you care how you expand your balance sheet? Like, I want to make money, but I have to do it this way. Or do you just want to make currency units? Do you actually care how it's done? Honestly, I don't give a crap. I don't care if I'm trading couch futures or bubblegum insurance. I don't give a crap. I just want to make more currency units to make my life demonstrably easier and maybe for other people I know. So if that's the case, why do you care if the crypto market is where you do it? Oh, because crypto is it's a scam. I'm sure that, shush. You just go where the money is. There's no money in equities. There's no money in squiggly line trading, not consistent. There's no multiples. You will not win. So what do you care? Go where the money is. The money is in the crypto space. The money is in AI. Like, wake the flip up, to use Brandon's word. I like that. I'm starting to integrate it more. You guys got to wake up, man. What are you doing? You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to be like, I'll show you. I'll squiggly line my account until it's nothing, until it's dust. And in the next 3 years, when you guys are driving a Ferrari that has a Ferrari inside it, or like, have you seen those yachts that have their own yachts inside the yacht? And then there's 2 helicopter pads. Why do you need 2? When do you ever have a need for 2 helicopters on your freaking yacht thing? Man, they have it. So like, I just don't know why. I don't know why people are so stubborn. And so forget the crypto space for a second. Why in anyone's mind does it make more sense to look at a chart and look at green lines with your thumb on a trigger when you know the robots are infinitely better than you and getting better every day? Do you know that GPT-4 is coming, Brandon? Any day now. We don't know the exact day. They haven't announced it. No one knows the day, but it is already being tested. It's multimodal. Do you know what that is, Brandon? Have you been reading about that?
So you can use multi-modes.
Well, yes. Yes, you are correct.
I nailed it.
But do you know what those modes are?
Well, not individually, no.
So right now, these large language models, these GPT systems, generative pre-trained transformer networks, with some machine learning behind them, they are text-based. You have a text input, you get a text output. But now there's going to be text, sound, video, music. There's going to be, there's all sorts of cool stuff coming. Inferential modality, where it monitors like behavior and produces like results. And they're saying GPT-4 is about 500 times as fast. Well, GPT-4 in and of itself it's a big step forward. Like Scott was asking, would it benefit our crypto journey? It will benefit our human journey. All of these large language model systems, whether it's Llama, whether it's Bard, although Google's falling way behind. Like, Google's getting busted, dude. They're like a boxer. They're like any boxer in any Rocky movie that you know has like a near-term win, but is bound to get bludgeoned by Rocky by the end of the film, no matter what. Like, once the theme music kicks up, there's no way Rocky can lose. Like, fortunately or unfortunately, they've been at the top of the heap for a while. They are getting melted. They do not have product that's capable of competing right now with what they're doing through OpenAI. So the Microsoft investment has been paying off. And Bing Chat is good. If you've gotten in on the beta testing, if you've been banging around with it, it absolutely S's all over Google. Like, not even close. So good on Microsoft. They're relevant again. But what's coming with GPT-4, and there's a bunch of other systems. It's not the only system. It's not in a vacuum. Meta has Llama. And so all of this is to say that all of this is going to help humanity move forward. But you need to participate. Again, this is not a crypto thing. This has nothing to do with crypto. You need to be, no matter what you do, you need to be harnessing the power of these large language models and banging around with them. If you're not, it doesn't matter what market you're in, you just won't have a job. So you know what? I hope you're good at trading. If trading is what you do, because if you're not experimenting and learning to augment your behavior with these systems, you will be unemployed. You will just not be useful. You're probably already not useful, honestly. Is what it is. All right, Brandon, why don't we do this before we look at markets? Because by the way, they're all really, really, really green.
They're doing
like
well
really
today.
green. Like
Doing
really
pretty
green.
well.
Everybody's doing good.
Really.
You own digital assets. You doing all right. And I don't want to rub that in, all you other people that don't like crypto because of whatever. All right, what do we got? What's on the question agenda?
Any view on the DOJ moving about 10,000 Bitcoin seized from Silk Road hackers to Coinbase yesterday?
Yeah, I mean they gotta get liquid on that stuff, right? They
That's right.
They at some point, they have all this stuff. If you listen, the Marshal Service, usually the Marshal Service or the Department of Justice, they have all these assets that they seize. When I was in the gold business a lot, we would get seizure gold. We would get, oh God, man. There was one day that was particularly heartbreaking where we got a big bag of Rolex, Cartier, like Patek, beautiful watches. I mean, I'm talking like the Rolex Masterpiece Diamond, like $180,000, $190,000 watches. Well, when they send that, to like, we're going to take your jewelry, we're going to sell it, and we're going to help pay your debt to society. Do you know what a watch, $180,000 diamond encrusted masterpiece, do you know what that melts out for when you just melt the gold? It's like an ounce, little over an ounce of gold. $2,000. Your $180,000 watch. Your Cartier, your Patek Philippe, some of them, even if it's stainless, it's dust. So we take them, they make us on camera smash them with a hammer. Because we're like, man, can we just get some of those? No, we have to videotape the destruction. So you smash them with a hammer and then they go in the crucible and you melt them. Blech. So the government does this to be dickish, obviously, to criminals. Well, anyway, in this particular case, it doesn't look like they can smash them with a hammer. They have a bunch of Bitcoin seized from, the Silk Road situation and whatever. And I don't know if it's Silk Road hackers. I don't know if anybody at Silk Road hacked anything. It could be those indicted for murder because Ross, Ulbricht, the, guy that kind of created Silk Road, did try to have his best friend assassinated and thought he was assassinated. That's why this whole free Ross stuff is a joke. Like, free Ross, Bitcoin. Yeah, but he's a murderer. So maybe not. Maybe not free Ross, right? Maybe just give him a cool television in his cell. How about that? They have to take that stuff and at some point ease the taxpayers' burden on the due to the judicial system waste and graft. Ergo, you gotta melt that Bitcoin, right? And so at some point they got to sell that off. Where are they going to do it? You auction it off, and there's all sorts of people that like it. Now, just remember, just transferring it to Coinbase doesn't mean it's going to go on the open market. Coinbase has an over-the-counter, an OTC desk, and they do a lot of institutional positioning and custody and things like that. It's a very good chance that most of that Bitcoin will show up on balance sheets of their institutional clients and never hit the exchange. So, I mean, I wouldn't stress about it too bad. Again, this stuff's all got to get out there sometime. Same thing with the MTGOX tokens. They got to get out there sometime. It's coming some point this year. Those people need to be made good. So fair is fair. So good for them. Good for DOJ. Good. Keep it moving.
I like that. This is another question about price. This isn't good. Or buying. Okay, so I see AVAX is 1533 in my buy zone. What do you hold out for a lower price or grab it?
Michael from Maine. Why is there a buy zone for Avalanche? Why are in your buy zone? What is Michael? You might be applying
Michael, your parents' voice.
You might be applying the wrong metrics. First of all, Avalanche is, in my opinion, not a quality asset. So there is no buying zone. But if you like it, which is cool, how did you determine a buying zone? Does that have to do with some Fibonacci retracements, 200 moving average, and EMA, crossing the silver cross with it's all bull smoke, bro? Stop. Do your 5 T's. Avalanche is not a quality asset. And even if it was, there's not a buy zone. You dollar cost average into this stuff. Man, Michael, you need an intervention, bro. Not to assume your pronoun, because I can't do that. I got chastised for assuming pronouns. All right, Brandon, whatever your pronoun is. What's our next question?
We got the next question. How much attention do you pay to gas fees when you're about to make a trade?
How much? No, I don't. I mean, if I want to make a trade, it's not for $10 worth of tokens, so I really don't care. I mean, if it's off the chart ridiculous, if you're doing a $100 transaction and it's a $40 fee, don't do it. If you're doing a $100,000 transaction, like it cost me to send 300,000 USDC Friday night, purchasing, by the way, not panicking out like a bunch of whiny little bees that I had to deal with, purchasing. But when I sent that, it was $3.55 in Ethereum fees to move 300,000 USDC. So just kind of watch the fee, and if it looks weird and clunky, just don't do it. Just hang out a little bit. Those fees will generally calm down pretty quickly. There was a question that I just saw. Film Trader said, you registered on Singularity Net airdrop. No, you didn't. You didn't register for an airdrop because there's nothing to register for right now. A, be careful you're not on a scam site. B, you're not going to receive AGIX unless you have put AGIX into a stake, pool. If you've locked it up for staking through Singularity Net, then you would receive staking rewards. Singularity Net, Singularity DAO, where you would probably register to receive airdrops and stuff like that. There is no airdrop currently scheduled for AGIX holders. Not yet. The next one will be Rejuve. The next one after that will be Hypercycle. The next one after that looks like Sophia Net, and then maybe True AGI. But none of them are available right now. So what you did and what you think you did are not the same thing. All right. What else we got?
Looks like, so this is Kraken. Kraken's still considered a secure exchange secondary to a hardware wallet.
In my opinion, yes, I like Kraken. Kraken is fine. Kraken paid a fine because they weren't clear and consistent in their messaging about what happens when you stake with them. Oh, also, everybody's like, oh man, Kraken's going to be hurt. Kraken's not hurt. They made $43 and change million with their staking solution, and they only paid a $30 million fine. I mean, if you're going to give me 43 and take away 30, I'll take the fine every single day, forever, and be rich. So Kraken is fine. Yeah, Kraken's good. The leadership team there is very good. They're like crypto OGs. They're like OGs. I like that team. Shiba. Oh my God. If you're asking about Shiba Inu, I don't think we can be friends.
We had a funny, we're out of questions, but we had a funny comment in the chat I thought was funny from Danny Daytrace. Don't put more in the bank than you can afford to lose.
This is true, but guess what?
This is true.
Did anybody lose? Did anybody lose? Did anybody lose?
No, nobody lost. Nobody lost anything this time around, buddy. Nobody.
And remember, now I'm usually quick to point the finger at the Fed for being, the empty suits at the Fed and the dummy, but this is not, remember, this is not the Fed. Yes, they created a new vehicle. They created the framework for a new bailout structure, which do you understand how that a lot of people are getting this wrong? The FDIC was the one that came in and locked up the banks. It was not the Fed. However, the Fed has created a new program where banks, it's basically a discount window for everybody else that gives par value on collateral that may or may not be pledgeable into repo. So it gives basically par value out a 1 year out loan. This is the discount window, which they renamed the primary credit facility, but it's the discount window. And in the old days, if you were a bank and you went to the discount window in the Fed, it meant you were in trouble. But they're trying to change the stigma. So anyway, this new version of the discount window, this is for the Joe six-pack banks, not the big boys. But it essentially gives them par value on collateral. And that could be all the way, that could be treasury securities that are off the run. That could be agency securities. We are in a deflationary money world. Regardless of what the idiots like Jim Cramer will tell you, we're not in the massive throes of inflation. That is the exact opposite. There is a huge scramble for collateral. If anybody follows the yield curve, which I guess no one does, because that's just the one thing that tells you everything. So why would we follow it? But we're in a deflationary money environment where people are scrambling for collateral. They're scrambling for dollars. There is not enough dollar availability. And that's why you have a huge euro dollar market. That's why you have these it's one of the reasons this deflationary environment is one of the reasons why probably many of these banks are borderline illiquid. They're not insolvent, but they're definitely illiquid. And when you think of deflationary, it's not exactly opposite of inflation, right? Deflationary money refers to like a type of currency or asset where the value increases of that asset or currency over time, and it results in a decrease in the general pricing levels of goods and services. And like, let's say you're in the housing market and all of a sudden let's say you're a buyer, you're looking to buy a house and then housing prices start to collapse. You wait, you're like, oh man, I'll get a better deal. So you stop buying. And then sellers start to panic and they start marking down. And what happens is you can see across a variety of assets, you can see decreased consumer spending. You can see increased debt burden, right? Because deflation can increase the real value of debt and it makes it more difficult for borrowers to repay their debts. And this can lead to defaults and bankruptcies and like contractions of credit and all sorts of other nastiness, which further reduces economic activity. It lowers profit. It lowers new investment. You think about all these VCs that were getting nuked and had to get their cash out because their burn rate was too high and their runway was shortening. So, then you have, it reduces the profitability of these businesses and they got to get more cash. As they get more cash, then the maturity mismatch in the assets on these bank balance sheets becomes a real problem. And you can blame the Fed for not watching and you can blame these banks for not having people in charge. But even if they're investing in what would be considered safe assets, things that you can ride to maturity, that's not enough when people come and say, I need my cash right now. You're like, well, crap, I've got all this maturity that I can't get for 3.6, 3.7 years, whatever their median or their aggregate price to maturity was of the assets in their portfolio. They got to get it now. They got to take a loss because they can't hold the maturity. So as they unwind that stuff, and a lot of it was agency securities. But anyway, we live in a deflationary environment, not an inflationary environment. And it is important to get that right, because if you get that wrong, you're making wildly, wildly wrong assumptions. And I think, and this has nothing to do with crypto, honestly. This has everything to do with just understanding the environment you're in. I'm not saying this has nothing to do with trading, period. It has everything to do with understanding the fundamental environment that you're in and then doing what's best for your portfolio accordingly. Now, I believe that's in the digital asset and the AI space. You can go wherever you want to get multiples, and I wish you the best of luck, but you damn well better understand the framework that you're looking at. If you're listening to people giving you the inflation song, you're listening to the wrong people. And if you don't understand what inflationary scenarios and deflationary scenarios look like, and what wage deflation and asset price deflation and lower investment and debt burden and decreased consumer spending look like in a market, you're going to get punished. You're going to make some really bad assumptions. And on those weak assumptions, you're going to take currency units and you're going to put them in the wrong place and you're going to get nuked and you're going to wonder why. So you got to do this research yourself. Everybody needs to know this themselves. Don't listen to a guru. There's no such thing as a guru. You know what a guru is? A dude with a suit. There's no such thing as gurus. There's just people that might be a little further down the path than you are. I'm not a flipping guru. I'm just maybe a little bit further down the path than a few of you in the digital asset investment space. But all of us should be peers when it comes to the broader economic environment. So make sure you got your fundamentals right, man. Is that do we have any other questions? Or we pretty much
there was one question, but it's I don't know if it was pinned. What's up with USDC and how will it affect crypto? But if you want to hit that real quick, and then let's hit markets too.
Yeah, nothing.
2 minutes.
I don't know when that question was probably asked on Friday when there was a depegging, and the depegging was the result of people thinking that because about 10% of Circle's cash, 3.3 billion and change, was over SVB, that was going to be problematic and they wouldn't get their money, but they do get their money, and the peg was regained, and all the people that panicked got melted because you don't need to panic. All you have to do is nothing and you'll be fine. Anyway, and everything's fine. And Bitcoin is now up. I mean, God, Bitcoin's up 8% today. It's almost 26,000, almost 26,000. Ethereum's almost 1,800. Everything's going up. The whole effing thing's going up. Everything's going up. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell anybody, man. Like, good luck. I wish everybody the best luck. I don't want anybody to be broke. I jokingly say, have fun being poor. I don't think it's fun to be poor. I don't think any of you probably have fun. And the thing that you probably hate most is watching the digital asset space go straight up while all of you fight for 1%, 2%. And the rest of us are out, McLaren shopping, which I'm doing right now, actually. God, this Artura is real kicking the softies. They advertise it, but you can't get it. You can't get it. So they're all, and then you find the ad. They're like, okay, cool. This is the one. You're like, I want to get it. And they're like, well, we don't have that one. I'm like, then why are you advertising it? Isn't that a scam? I feel like there's rules against that. Anyway, whatever. Legit first world problems. Okay. Enough about my McLaren woes. I want the hybrid. I want it so bad. Okay. Be smart, please. Over the next few days, the financial system is in a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil. Be very careful about what you read and look for the twists and the bends and the angles. And remember, everyone is out to get you all the time, always. So just be smart, do your own research, slow your roll. You'll be fine. And on that note, we'll see you tomorrow for Digital Heavyweights. And by the way, that thing that we were talking about that we have coming, it looks like it's here. I'll give you more details tomorrow in the show, but all right. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything. My poor unsolved drunk, strung out on meth grandmother, or Brandon, who's not Nancy Pelosi, who's not E-Meg. You just buzzed E-Meg.
No, I did not buzz E-Meg. Get out of here.
You buzzed E-Meg.
Sounds like to you.
Weird. E-Meg just got muted. E-Meg got me. You know what, E-Meg? I guess Brandon's decided you get canceled.
And I really like E-Meg too.
Yeah, Brandon canceled you.
I feel bad about that one. I know it's canceled.
I guess I should tell some Will Smith slap jokes so I can get canceled.
You just need to make your speech patterns more predictable for me. That's it. That's it.
And on that note, I bid you a fond pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew.
Hey, I'm Gabe, head of client relations here at Money Morning Live. But I'm also a guy looking to trade just like you.